1004, the numbers do mean something. They mean we are trying to start and grow 1,000 businesses with 4 employees or more. So for those of you who don't know, 65% of businesses in the country actually employ 5 employees or less, yet you rarely ever hear about those businesses. I'm a business owner. Maybe I'm working at a business. Maybe I'm working at a large company. And I'm looking for solutions on how to grow that specific business. But you don't know where to go. You go to the Google machine and you type in, how do I grow a business? Or how do I create an email campaign? But is that really trustworthy? Or is it just something that really was able to be enhanced by a search engine? One thing that many of us have, or that all of us have actually, is time. But the one thing that we lose is time when we spend on things. And so how could you spend the least amount of time to get the answer that you're looking for? You could hire a consultant, and they're going to cost you anywhere from $200 to $2,000. How many of you guys have ever hired a consultant to help you with that business? Well, a lot of times those consultants have actually never gone through the pain that you're going through. Many times they're seasoned vets of the business world, but they haven't actually even created a Facebook business page. But they'll just say, oh, start a Facebook business page, but they have no idea really what to do to dive in. And so you're getting information from people who actually have no idea what they're talking about. And they also don't understand the emotions that we go through as entrepreneurs. By show of hands, how many entrepreneurs are here tonight? So everyone almost. So you guys know that you, as business owners and entrepreneurs, you emotionally go through something and you don't know always where to get a helping hand. So what's the solution? An on-demand, curated, and qualified video library of several hundred videos ranging from 60 seconds to 60 minutes of videos, curated and qualified by people who have actually done that said task. So before we talked about maybe someone talking in theory about something, now we find the experts who have actually gone through and done it. As you're growing your business, you learn that maybe you need a piece of legal paperwork or a piece of accounting worksheet, but you don't know where to get that. You could Google it, download it, but is it really something that someone else has used? So we have about 100 worksheets and templates that you can use to download to help grow your business as well. An online community of entrepreneurs, several hundred entrepreneurs together, helping each other grow. And think of it as one-on-one coaching of people that are going through the same problems that you are to help each other. So the Traction helped, again, hundreds of businesses over the last few years, and so much that those big organizations and communities and cities and incubators and accelerators are now hiring us to be their programming, because they've realized how hard it is for them to be that expert when instead, let us do that. So you might be asking, who are these experts? Are you talking about legal work? No. When we are not an expert in something, we go and hire someone or find someone to be that specific expert. That's where we're different. Someone recently asked me, well, what type of business should I start? And I said, well, go talk to your accountant, go talk to your lawyer. I'll tell you what we are, and I'll tell you why we're that. But we're not in the business of trying to make sure that you're legally and from an accounting perspective in the wrong place. That's why those people exist. So we, again, have been building this little platform called 1004.com. We are rolling it out nationally. We just last night got someone on from West Virginia, and are partnering with different cities, companies, and spaces across the country, and we look to continue to add companies all across the country and maybe even the world. Thank you. Questions? Yes?
How do you make money?
So we charge a monthly fee, either direct to the business or to the space that we're working with. So a city could, we would charge them, and then they can either charge that fee to direct to that business, or they could give it to that business in kind or as value added. Yes, sir.
How do you secure the videos in the ecosystem so they're not shared outside of that platform?
Yeah, so it's a custom proprietary platform that we built that there is no link where you could ever grab it, and so it's not like a YouTube link where you can go and share it and then get it off. That can't happen. And then the link, if that link gets shared, if you've ever seen on like Netflix where you're trying to watch a video that you're not signed in with, it will take you to the page, and then when you press go, it'll basically say, give us money, sign up. Yes, sir.
Are you franchising?
No, we're licensing.
Licensing?
Yeah. So Hatch will never have another location. We're not in that business. We are in the business of helping as many people possible through digital and internet technology and innovation. If we were to try and put a space in every city, that's going to help a handful of people. We want to take our vision is to be able to be the distribution platform to all these places. And so we don't believe that, we let those spaces be what they're good at, and then let us be their programming or piece of their programming.
So your customers would be other incubators?
We have two customers. The end user is always the same. The end user is always the business owner, their staffs, their teams, or people that are maybe looking at starting a business, right? So we'll sell directly to them, or we'll sell to a space or an enterprise in between that also has the same client. So yes, several incubators, accelerators, actual city economic developments, they can be kind of the conduit to then get to that end user. But if you've ever talked to someone at an economic development or a city or an incubator, they're not always someone who has extreme business experience, and they struggle to be able to speak to some of these people in kind of the context that a lot of these business owners are looking for. So there's a lack of trust there. So we can come in and be that trust for them.
So it's web-based.
Yep.
Is it just watching videos, or is there people to talk to? Is there interaction? Is there advice?
Mm-hmm.
What is it beyond watching videos?
Yep, so there's videos. There is an online forum where people can communicate back and forth, maybe ask a question. We do office hours where there is a specific person talking online to a group of people out through the world. We did one yesterday on Kickstarter where people were talking about how to get a Kickstarter platform out, and then those people were in different places.
Are you looking to hire any specific people on your staff, or are you in that place right now?
So probably not necessarily in a staff perspective, but we're constantly looking at adding new content on there. We add content in two different ways. One, we see it as kind of something that's missing, and two, our members are saying, hey, I need to learn how to use Snapchat. How can I use Snapchat for my business? Or how do I use email for my business? Or how do I need a sales funnel? How do I get in front of this specific person? It's really looking at what our users are saying through the platforms that we built, and then if we don't have that answer, quickly trying to find someone that fits our kind of qualifications of having gone through it in the past.
You offer a trial period.
Yeah, so if you find a specific link, we have a 30-day trial. But people have to get creative to find that. It's startwithhatch.com/free trial, all one word. If our clients don't like what we have, then we don't want them as clients, right? We want everything to be win-win, right? And I think we're not trying to be misleading or anything like that, right? So if this isn't the right fit for someone, then we don't want them to be financially in a position where it's not going to help them. So we'd much rather them check it out for a little bit and then say, hey, I'm not in this position. One of the biggest challenges with that, to be honest, is that when you give a free trial, and someone realizes that this isn't for them, that's a huge win for us, but financially we didn't get any money off of it. So we didn't have them go down this path of saying, I don't want to start a business because I thought it was actually really easy, when in fact we're potentially missing out on dollars that way. And so financially it could be a loss, but it's really a win because we didn't have someone screw up their life by trying to, sign a lease somewhere for 5 years to find out that that was a bad idea. We'd rather them not emotionally and financially go through a crazy world.
You don't have to be an employee to put up a video, correct?
What do you mean?
Do your employees put up all the how-to videos or all the videos on the site?
No. So we have experts in all different types of assets. We do produce some of the stuff. Well, we produce everything, but we're not always the piece of content that is there. So you will not see anything about legal or accounting or financial things from us because we are not those experts. But we want people who have actually gone through and done said thing. Because I'm not a lawyer. I could give you legal advice. You get screwed up. But yet, that's the world that we live in, where things aren't curated and qualified. And we want to make sure that the experts are actually experts that are providing information.
Yeah, so that's my question. Do you
Yeah.
monitor the content and you'll say, maybe that's not the best way to do this?
Yeah, we won't put it up if we don't believe
Okay.
it's correct.
Yeah.
Right, so if this is not an aggregate of content from other places online, we are creating exclusively the content for our users. So we wouldn't put something up that's not valuable. Also at the same time, there are, with the world of social networks, things change all the time. So content could be coming off that might have been relevant at one point or truthful at one point that now is completely changed. So we would go in and try and tweak that. Tracy?
Well, I was just gonna say, you're obviously in a business of entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
What is the one piece of advice for people considering entrepreneurship that you would give to help them decide that that's maybe a path they really want to go down?
Yeah, so this is a line stolen from Damon John when I interviewed him, don't quit your day job. Put one foot in the water and see if you like it. If you realize that you don't want to go all in, you probably shouldn't go all in. The last thing you want to do is, you're basically, even when you're starting a business, even if you have a partner or not, you're starting a marriage, right? And so if you're jumping in, you potentially could lose everything. And if you don't love that by just putting one foot in, don't put both feet in because you're probably not gonna love it. And so that seems crazy for a guy that's selling to people that are on the fence potentially of starting a business. But if you start that business and it doesn't go well, we would have been doing you a disservice than telling you, oh, just jump in, go do it. It's crazy, right? You can spend a very small amount of money to get a lot of results to figure out if you like that or not. I had a conversation with someone yesterday who was trying to start something, and he said, oh, we need to basically build out this entire application. And I'm like, actually, you just need to take a picture and see if anyone will actually do the transaction of that picture that you want. He's like, well, I don't understand. I said, if you can't get someone to take a list and then you perform that list for a certain amount of dollars, then you probably never will, even if you have a ton of automated infrastructure in place. Most people think that just because you put something out on the web or you just open a business is going to come to you. It's not. You can have the greatest thing in the world, but if no one knows about it, if you don't sell it, if you don't get it in front of people, it won't, right? And so I think people need to do the smallest amount of work possible to try and get that in front of someone, to then see if that person will buy it. And if they didn't buy it, figure out why, or maybe they were talking to the wrong person, and then go talk to the right person and see if they will buy it. And if they don't end up buying it, then that means a couple of things. Number one means your idea might not be a great idea, go on to something else. Or it might be that the words that you said to someone weren't the words that will convert them to actually pull the trigger and do the thing that you want. Or you talk to the wrong person. And so it's our job to make sure that you spend the least amount of money, resources, and time to achieve the goals that you want. And I'd much rather you guys hear something hard from us saying, this is going to be tough, than us just saying, go. Because at the end of the day, you'll be mad at us. We're still going to be like that for you. We want you guys to be great, but if you're not getting in front of people, you know, things probably aren't going great. Good. Anyone else? Desmond.
So basically what you're saying is that you have to be pragmatic with your goals and with your product and who you're giving to.
I think early businesses should never create a goal because they don't know what they don't know yet. And too many people say, I want to make $1 million. Well, you haven't even made $1. If you can't make that $1, you're never going to make $1 million, right? Make that first $1, then try and make 2, then try and make 5, then make 10, right?
I just, web-based, you said all the content's created by your partners. Just curious, do you have a feedback loop that if people that are familiar with that topic disagree with that, do you have a feedback loop so that you can make things better?
Yeah, so you can comment on anything. We're constantly communicating with our clients. On the page there is even something that's like a topic request. So we're constantly making sure that people can communicate. Not everyone's going to agree with every kind of way to do something, right? But everyone is entitled to an opinion.
I just wanted to say that I think everything that Zach and 1004 have done over the years is awesome. Putting on video content and going national, international, that's where, I mean, it's perfect. I've been a member of 1004 for like 3 years, I think. And like the first thing that 1004 did was boost tunnel traffic in apps that I developed. I developed it quickly, sort of followed this advice, like I'm gonna make this thing really fast. And it took like 2 days to make it. I came into a startup night. I wasn't speaking, but I just went around and talked to people and showed them the app, see what they thought. And then like the next month I came and that was the first startup night that I actually pitched something. And I think like the next week there were 2,000 users because there was a newspaper reporter there who thought it was a good idea, also did an article on it, and then now we have like, I don't know, 22,000 people in the area using this app and continue to grow. We've like refined it over the years, and
One thing
it
that
really created a lot of value though.
Yeah.
And this happens at like almost every 1004 event.
Yeah.
Something like this.
One
happens.
thing that we don't promote, because it's very difficult to promote, but a lot of our members say it, is this network effect, right? By being a part of this club, these are the things that are going to happen. The reason why that's a challenge is saying, oh, I just joined this gym and you're going to automatically lose 100 pounds. You still have to work. But we have the opportunity and the resources available for you to take that and potentially do whatever you want with it. You know, there is no get-rich-quick thing here. You're going to have to bust your tail. You're going to have some long nights. You're going to maybe cry, maybe lose a little bit of money. But if you keep with it and you find those customers and you find those people who really want what you want, good things can happen. And remember, this whole concept of Hatch started by just putting together a group of some entrepreneurs to learn from each other. And then six years later, we're still here. So you never know what you can't do, or what you can do.